There are some people who are master in the art of seduction. They are master seducers. They come into a man's life in very subtle manners. They infiltrate into his emotions. What they attempt to do is not to stir up lust, but to stir up love. Because if they only stir up lust, when the man has finished executing his lust, he can easily disengage from them. He can easily cast them aside. So they make the man, begin to love them, or love their company, or begin to feel that they cannot do without this person around them. And before long, many of these professional seducers make the man feel like he's the one pursuing them. They make him feel like he's the one trying to woo or win the girl or the woman. Meanwhile, it was all a setup. I want to declare here today that your husband shall never encounter a seducer. A seducing agent. Many of them are demon possessed. Many of them are motivated and propelled and pushed by the spirit of greed, filthy lucre, avarice. They can never have enough. They want more. They want beyond what they are qualified for. And they learn to seduce innocent men. Your husband shall not be a victim. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. So seduction, an innocent man who never dreamt that he would fall into such a situation, sometimes could end up as a victim of seduction. Number two is what I call ancestral curses. Why ancestral curses? There are men who are unfortunate to come from families that are characterized by polygamy, multiple women, divorce and remarriage, recurrent divorce. There's what they call serial polygamy. They keep on, there's a new woman all the time, but he's with one, only part-time. Then there is those that the polygamy is polygamously bereketatious. It's on ground. All of them are on ground, screaming and fighting in one corner or the other of the house. Once in a while, the man could join sides with one and come to help to fight the other. You know, those kind of setup. Many times, unfortunately, some men are victims of ancestral curses that are working upon them. And if a man begins to sense that there is a challenge in that direction, he would do good for it to become an issue that he can take to God in prayer and seek for God to set him free and deliver him. Also, like we're going to look at further, it could also be an issue where you and the husband could actually study the word and arrive at solutions, biblical, scriptural solutions for such ancestral conditions. I pray today that anyone that is a victim of ancestral limitations, the spirit of polygamy working against his life and destiny, will be set free today in the name of Jesus Christ. Number three, possible cause for some people is what I call indiscipline. The man in discipline or the woman in discipline, in indiscriminate relationship with people of the opposite sex. There is no boundaries, there are no principles, there are no rules and regulations. Anything goes. The man can hug anybody, peck anybody on the cheek, just hang around with anybody. And many times, these kind of people are pushed into what they were not budgeting for. Indiscipline, lack of personal principles and discipline. Number 4 is premarital sex as a foundation for the marriage. Premarital sex as a foundation for the marriage. Single ladies, I need for you to take note of this and make a covenant with God that with the help of God, all that it will take, when the man comes, you will make sure that you do not sleep with him before marriage. Now, what am I saying? People can, oh, well, this didn't happen and that didn't happen. But some of those things are foundations that the devil capitalizes on and improves on or disproves on. A negative improvement, you can't say it's an improvement, can you? I have taught this many times before in our women meeting, and especially with the singles and youth meeting. And I have said to them that when you sow the seed of premarital sexual relationship, what happens is that a seed is sown and a plant germinates. And you know that there is the principle of seed time and harvest time. And the harvest of a premarital sexual relationship is, without many times, extramarital relationships. Not every Jezebelically infiltrated home, not every adultery home is because of that foundation. But many times, many of such foundations result in such outcomes. And what is it that happens? The foundation was laid with maybe minimal, hidden here and there immorality. And then when the harvest comes out, it becomes full-blown. Everybody hears about it. Everybody knows about it. The man goes wild. Sometimes the women too go wild. We know that the harvest of premarital sexual relationship, which we have taught many times, is in the book that I wrote, 14 Secrets Plus 1 Towards a Happy Marriage, is number one, that extramarital affairs that comes up during the marriage. Number two, lack of mutual trust. Number three, lack of mutual respect. Number four, lack of mutual love. Love dies. It just vanishes. Number five is lack of sensitivity. Lack of sensitivity. Many times, both from the man or from the woman. The woman is not sensitive to the husband's needs, to the husband's current situation, to the husband's need, maybe for attention, for encouragement, or for support. If we look at Jezebel's story where we read, when she came in, Ahab, her husband, was not happy over an issue. Everybody else in the palace, nobody noticed. Only her noticed that he was not happy. She came in and she saw. Did you read that place where we read? He turned his face to the wall. He was lying down there. His ADC, his everybody, nobody noticed anything. They thought maybe he was just in need of rest. But when she came, she knew that this was not normal. She looked at the food served and he had not eaten it. She knew that there was something. She was sensitive to his situation per time. And unfortunately, many of us as women, after you get married, tend to pay more attention to every other person and every other thing more than attention to your husband. They are busy paying attention to children, paying attention to visitors, paying attention to relations, paying attention to their job and their professions and their careers and their new course that they are taking. They are doing an MBA and they are doing a PGD and they are doing a master's and they are doing a PhD, and the education continues, and they want to become chartered accountants or chartered institute of managers or chartered institute of administrators or chartered anything. And so number five is lack of sensitivity to the husband or to the wife, as the case may be. Number six is a boring marriage. Boring. The marriage is boring. It's unexciting. It is just redundant. There is nothing new. It's just routine. Everybody wakes up in the morning, get set, go to work, come back from work, eat food, lie down, sleep. Pay for the house rent, or pay for the house mortgage, pay for the car, pay for fuel, pay children's school fees, just routine. Nothing exciting. No talking, no gisting, no friendship. Boring. Maybe I should have put that as number one. Because from many of the counselings we have done over the years, this always crops up. But again, like I have been prophesying since we started, you shall never be a victim in the name of Jesus. And the last point, which is not the least, is, I don't know how to title it, but I'll just title it disrespect or disregard. Why do I say I don't know how to title it? Because it might not be the real disrespect in quotes, but the two people have grown so used to each other that, is it not him? Is it not? I know him now. I know whether he snores in the night or she snores in the night. It's very, I know his habits. The woman just has no value for him. There is, she became too used to him. She began to be correcting him the way she's frequently correcting her children. I went through a book the other time, and the man told a story how his wife traveled, and she traveled. She was away for about a week or 10 days. So when he went to pick her at the airport and they were driving back home, the wife was asking him, she has 2 sons plus her husband, said, "Did you people miss me?" The man said, "Well, come to think about it, really no." Why? Why didn't you miss me? He said they were too busy enjoying themselves in her absence to miss her. She said, "Why?" He said, "Oh, that is just yesterday, because we know you are coming back today, that we cleaned up the house." That because she was not around, if they bathed, they were free to drop the towel on the floor in the middle of the bathroom. They were free to leave the bed without dressing the bed. They could eat anything they wanted to eat. The day they felt like junk food, they ate junk food. The day they I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So the woman said, "Oh, okay." After that trip, she calmed down. Do you understand what I'm saying? She calmed down. We have become our husband's mothers. Pick it up. Why did you leave your shoe here? Pick it up. Why did you leave your socks here? Please, when you stand up from that bed, help me straighten it back. I just finished making the bed. Why did you leave this thing like this in the middle of the room? Why didn't you finish your food? You have to finish the food. Why did you chew your bone like this? If you go out to public, is this how you'll be cracking your bone? Why did you give me other illustrations? Am I telling lies against anybody? No. Many of us do worse than that. Sometimes in front of people. Many times that's the worst. In front of people. Why are you chewing like that? Now you know go school. All manner of comments. I have heard couples, casual, maybe even around in church, they just, and what the woman is saying to the man is saying, "Please don't talk to your husband like that." Then the man will tell you, "That's how she's always talking. We're used to it." Are you listening to what I'm saying?